Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore podcast, the podcast that reviews the movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 637, and it is your review of Apur Sansar. As always, is the nerd you're going to hear the host of the show, along with my wonderful co host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? We're going to wonderful Thursday.
Thursday, live
Thursday.
and early for our patrons over at patreon.com/the nerdcore at the $1 tier. You get this episode live and early so that way you can communicate with us while we review this film. And it's available to you for 2 days before it goes live at 12 p.m. Central Time for the public. And of course, just thank you to all our patrons who make that possible. Brad, before we get into today's review, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Happy to be home.
Yeah?
Yeah. Work was work. I'll have to talk about that on a mini pod.
Yeah. Hey, thank God we get to do it early. Oh man. You know what, man? We're almost there, Brad. It's almost time for the holidays, and then we have to deal with that, right?
Yeah. Then we had to deal with the holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a few extra vacation days, so that's always good. And though we won't be podcasting necessarily, might still be streaming somewhere else though.
Who
Might
knows,
catch
man?
a few games here and there.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Yeah. All I know is that what's it called? I yesterday I went to watch the Iron Claw. Fantastic film. I hope I can do a review with Luis before soon because I would like to get that out already for y'all. Um, Fantastic film, my favorite film of the year so far, and yeah, the, the Iron Claw. Yep, Iron Claw. But I did that, Brad, and then I just went to work today. Not much going on here, just work and yesterday at the movies. I think I'm gonna go see Wonka this
Wonka?
weekend. Yeah.
Interesting. I want to see that movie. I sent you the trailer, American Fiction.
Yeah, Rachel watched that already. She
Yeah.
said it was good. It was okay. It's like it was all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it looks interesting. Like I was listening to NPR today because when you're driving around in
Ain't got
my
shit to
area,
do.
that's the only fucking thing to listen to.
You're like, fuck else I gotta listen to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Country music? No thanks.
Yep. Well, yeah, I just been doing that, and other than that, man, not much going on around here. Just work, watch that movie. Think I'm gonna go see Wonka, and then Stacy says in the chat, sounds like Brad's hiring hinting at a stream of Yoda and Yodar in Baldur's Gate 3.
Man, throwing it back to the Dungeons and
Yodar.
Dragon.
Yep.
Yodar.
Yep. Yeah. Yodar's days are gone, man.
You pretty much. I mean, yeah. I think that's
Brad,
probably that's probably through. I'm guessing.
Yep. I could have told you that, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, it's done.
There has been no outreach to try and get that back and started again. So
Yeah. Hey man, that just means our Wednesdays are clear now. My Wednesdays are clear now. But it happens, bro. You know, you can always just play him in Baldur's Gate 3, Brad.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, I just been doing that. You know, it sucks that I keep seeing people get their orders in from the company that I bought from Black Friday, and I still haven't gotten shit. So, you know, I'm like, I know that y'all are gonna probably send that shit like next month, but it's just like, damn, I really want it.
I want that shit.
I
Send it
want that
now.
shit.
Put it in
Yeah.
my hands.
Yep. But oh, that's it, Brad. That is it. I continued working on some of my Houston Cinema Arts Festival coverage. I have two more reviews I need to write. This time I'm not doing it a whole 3 months late, so I'm actually kind of getting through
That's
it.
good. That's good. Not procrastinating.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get through some movies here, man. I'm trying to see if I can get access to some films that I need to before the end of the year, man. Because I would like to be able to watch these movies before the end of the year, and but and not playing in Houston, and you know, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, right?
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Yeah.
Know where we at? No, you don't.
Yep. Yep. But nonetheless, are you? Let's get into this, right, Brad? Because I think we're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have a lengthy discussion here. Um, so let's go ahead and get this going, Brad. Of course, this is our third movie in this month. This is also the final installment in the Apu trilogy. So, wait, what the heck, man? I made this banner, bro, and now you're telling me it's not there. That's cool.
That banner is gone.
Damn. Well, yeah. Today we're gonna continue on with the final um review of the Apu trilogy as we look at Apur Sansar, and let's go ahead and get that going now, Brad. So this is mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and read for you all. No, not Five Nights at Freddy's. There we go. The World of Apu. Um,
You
Apu.
misspelled Apu.
Huh?
Misspelled Apu.
Fuck. This is what happens when fucking what's it called? This shit goes wrong, bro. That's great, bro.
It's the Nerd Course podcast. It has to go wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Apur Sansar, also known as The World of Apu, is a 1959 Indian Bengali language drama film produced, written, and directed by Satyajit Ray. It is based on the second half of Bibhushan's Bandabhare's novel Aparajitu, following Pator Panchali in 1955 and Aparajitu in 1956. The World of Apu is the final part of Ray's Apu trilogy, about the childhood and early adulthood of a young Bengali named Apu in early 20th century India. The World of Apu stars Sumitra Chatterjee as Apu and Sharmila Tagore as Apu's wife Aparna. The duo would go on to appear in many subsequent Ray films. Yep. Which I believe in the next one, this actress will be in the film that we're doing next week. Um, Upon its release on May 1st, 1959, The World of Apu was well received by critics. It won the National Film Award for Best Feature Film, as well as international awards, including the Sutherland Award for Best Original and Imaginative Film and National Board of Review Award for Best Foreign Language Film. And of course, the cinematography was done by the cinematographer on the last two films, Subrata Mitra. The music is done by Ravi Shankar. Where's the editor? No editor on this one, huh?
The editor did not exist. It's just what was left of the film after the fire.
Yeah, the
It
film
edited
sits at
itself.
the film sits at an hour and 47 minutes, and it had a box office return of 75 to 80 lakh. Um, I don't know what's it called what that equals to in American dollars, but yeah. And let's see if we have anything in here because that was a little small. That was a
That was
small.
pretty short comparative.
Yeah,
The second one had a lot.
yeah. Um, let me see here
You
because
have
this
over
is
trivia.
yeah. I'm trying to look at trivia here.
Oh, did you know intimacy between a young married couple, such as kissing and hugging, were strictly forbidden at the time? I think I lost a rule. Or Raul lost me. One or the other. Yep, this show's going great. Yep. Jesus Christ. I was talking to myself.
My fucking so my Wi-Fi is gonna start doing that shit again, huh?
Yeah, I was talking. I didn't even realize you weren't there, so I just named off one of the trivia. Um,
Okay. Well,
which
thank you. Was it the first one?
no, it was the second one. It was the showing scenes of intimacy between a young married couple were strictly forbidden at the time.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Wow. Um.
That kind of makes sense
Sh-
now,
ooh.
now that I've seen the movie.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. Sharmila Tagore was only 14 when she made the film.
Also another reason they didn't want to do that.
Um, the film is included on Roger Ebert's great. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know that. We've said that.
Yeah. I know it's a part of the Criterion Collection. The film was completely dubbed into English in New York City at Tiltra Sound Studios. Why would you do that?
No, stop that.
Stop. All right. Sharmila Tagore, who plays Aparna, the wife of Apu, played by Sumitra Chatterjee, who was only 14 years old when she appeared in the film, later recalled filming the scene in which Apu brings his new bride back to his untidy apartment in the city. The director Satyajit Ray gave Tagore no direction other than that she was to enter the room and look around, and she did not view the apartment set before they shot the scene. So when Chatterjee opened the door and they both walked in, Aparna's reaction to Apu's living quarters was actually Tagore's own spontaneous reaction. Later, she realized that Ray deliberately did not prepare her in order to obtain exactly that spontaneous response from her.
So
That's yeah,
this girl went in there and cried. That was the spontaneous reaction. Like you're so poor. I'm sad.
because now Ravi Shankar was the same gentleman who worked with the Beatles as we saw in film Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. What? Oh wait, is that the fucking movie with what's it called? John C. Riley.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Walk hard, walk
Yeah.
hard.
There's an Italian edition of the film on DVD, re-edited with the contribution of film historian Riccardo Cuisine. The version is also available for streaming on some platforms. Oh well, I thought that
Ah,
was in the other thing, but yeah.
okay.
Um, Brad, this is the final entry
This
in the
is it
trilogy,
for a
Brad.
poo. This is it
Yeah,
for a poo.
this was it for Apu. Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Apur Sansar?
Poor Sansar out of the three, and you know I really like that first one. Um, I like this one more.
Really?
I like this one more. I so if we go back to the second one, you relate far more than I ever could to that movie,
Yeah.
and I can relate to this movie. I think a lot
Damn.
of that whole being in love and not being able to afford anything, and
Damn, bro. Oh shit, Brad. What's it called? President John F. Kennedy watched this film in 1961.
I'm sure John F. Kennedy watched a lot of films.
Well, I didn't know he was gonna go watch this shit.
Oh, did he actually go to the theater to watch it?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
attending a screening of this film in
oh, okay.
February 16,
Well,
1961.
was
There's a
that
picture of
okay?
it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Secret Service all around. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but continue on, Brad.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked basically the whole story throughout this. The ending was a little, you know, the ending I was like, it's okay. I can see where you can go with that. Um, but I just love that going from a man who hadn't known love and basically had lost everything, and then getting that love, and then losing that love all go,
There you
and
go.
he's basically broken. He
Yeah.
is gone. Like
I
he
mean,
is done. Even the second thing he loved, writing his novel, he just releases it to the wind, and he's just fucking,
yeah,
and he can't bring himself to love his own child because that child is the reason his beloved wife is dead in
yeah,
his mind at the time until he sees the child. And then when you look at the child, you go, that child looks quite like the wife. Like,
yeah,
and I think it takes that for him to realize that she may not be on Earth, but a part of her still is in
yeah,
his son. And it's all over, and the whole thing is just a roller coaster of emotions. It's like the first two, but this one, I feel like I can relate a little bit more in terms like that. And
yeah.
so I really quite enjoy just the emotional depth this goes into.
I thought it was a beautiful conclusion to this trilogy, and I think it really comes full circle with that ending. You know, what's it called? Apu literally ends up where his father was. He's like he wanted to be a writer and he didn't do it, and what's it called? And now he what's it called has the chance to right the wrongs that his dad, you know, like his dad wasn't able to do for Apu. And he's like, okay, now I'm gonna take care of my kid, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be there for my kid. I think the movie's fantastic, Brad. I think it's beautifully crafted.
Yeah,
I think it's just the story is so beautiful as well as, but it's also so heartbreaking because, like you said it, man. The friend even says it. He tells him, what's called, you never even been with a woman before. You never even been close enough to be able to talk to one. And he's like, you think about it, you know, um, he would have probably learned about how to communicate through to women from first his sister, who's older than him, who probably would have, he would have probably been able, like, okay, so this is how you talk to women
yeah,
in this.
and no,
And
gone.
if the sister wasn't there, then he would have learned from his mom,
I mean,
or his mom would have already had arranged a marriage for him.
and the mom, that was so, that's a different culture and a different society where
Mm-hmm.
the mom was definitely, you could tell, could not be, she was there to raise the kids. She couldn't be like open and like like a friendship sort of
Yeah,
thing of any kind, really.
but
Um,
because both of them are gone, they're dead. Apu doesn't know anything about this. He's very awkward when it comes to that, for to meeting this girl. Well, the fact that, like, he wasn't even going there to marry this
no,
woman.
he's just going to a wedding.
Yeah,
Like literally fell asleep outside reading a book,
gets
and then the
woken
next thing
up.
you know, he's being asked like, "Yo, the groom just like totally went nuts.
Yeah,
Can you sub in?" And which I think every man in the world be like, "Nah,
nah,
nah, I gotta go like
yeah.
right now."
But to Apu, and like, also, you learn from your father as well. You know what it means to be a husband and all
And
these
his
things,
father dies at 10.
and it's the hard. So Apu has no one.
No, well, that, and he literally says that. He says that to his new bride.
Yeah,
When
his
he
wife's
asks,
like, "Do you
like,
know
do
anything
you
about me?" Yeah,
know? Yeah, you have no one. It's like, well, that was kind of cold to say, but she's not
it's
wrong.
true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, and so when he finally gets to open himself up, man, after all these years of losing everyone, even shit, man, even losing his studies, he can't finish his degree because he can't afford it. Like the
This
one
man,
thing,
this man has hit so much bottom. He literally goes work in a coal factory.
yeah,
A very highly educated person going to work in a coal factory, and back in those times, working in a coal factory, that just meant certain death at some point.
pretty much, yeah,
Pretty
pretty
much.
much.
They weren't the safest places. No mine was
But
back in
like,
the 20s, 30s.
what I'm trying to say is also, like, if you thought that Apu in the last two films
40s.
had reached like a really critical point in his life, this one is where it hits the worst. Like, he's got all these things, but he was able to push through. He finished his studies. He couldn't continue those studies though,
Because he ran out of money.
ran out of money. But he was like, "Well, fuck it, I still got to work and I got to find keep trucking along." But it's that finally being able to be vulnerable, right? And he, what's it called? He finds this woman who he learns to love, and he gets taken from him.
Not only that, she loves him back.
She loves him back.
Like literally the line where he goes, "I'll get you a maid," and she's like, "How will you get me a maid?" He's like, I'll get another tutoring job," and she's like, "You know what I want?
Oh, I should be home.
I want you to have no tutoring job so you can come home earlier."
Yeah,
And it's like, God damn, all right.
yeah. And it's just, man, it's so heartbreaking, bro. Especially when the guy's there and when he sees him, he's like, was like, oh, like, she goes like, a Burden is like, what happened? And you just see it, and it comes back to that, like, that first reaction of, what's it called? This reaction was so different to his reaction to his mom dying, because like that
Yeah,
one was,
he just got up and left.
yeah, and this one, he like, it fucking hits, and
He's
dude,
turns
he
turns violent. He knocks that dude.
violent, and then he contemplates killing himself
Yeah.
on the train. Like,
Yeah.
that was,
If it wasn't for the pig, I think Apu probably would have gone through with it.
yeah. And it's just like I think that's what Ray does so great in this film. He like gives so much patience to this one. He like, and it's not to say that the other ones weren't patient. Like, they were very patient, the pacing and everything. But in this one, he like lingers on some of these moments more, and he's like it's so, it's so heartbreaking that moment when he releases the papers, but it's so beautifully shot. Like he's kind of releasing something that's like been carrying this weight on him. It's almost like this like need to him to become something that's kind of been blinding him from the fact that like, oh, then I wasn't able to put myself out there for so long because I had stayed so connected to my work and to my education because I it was the only thing I had. And now like I realized that like after I lost my wife, like I really don't have anything anymore. Like what
Yeah,
the fuck is this book worth anymore?
yeah. And I think it was just another round of trying to become nothing,
Yeah.
trying to disappear, trying to just be gone after all of that. I mean this character has had one of the worst lives I think I've ever seen in cinema.
Worse than Lewin Davis, bro. And inside Lewin Davis, where that guy
Yeah,
was just having a bad day after a bad day after a
yeah.
bad day.
No, this guy's
This guy's having
having
a bad
a
life.
whole bad life. Like I mean, to go through losing, your older sister and then your parents at a young age, and then you finally, out of it's like a miracle. You find the love of your life, and then boom, just gone.
It's gone. But so good, bro. Like, dude, the restorative quality on this is
There
masterfully
there were
done.
there were a few issues you could see with the film, but the thing was on like it was on fire.
So, Brad, I actually have some stuff about this one. About this one, about when it comes to the film.
Yeah.
None of this film was usable.
Oh,
They
so
had
they
to
had to go
use
back to get all the
they had to get different what's it called so look here you go. The materials were shipped to a new restorative laboratory, right? For the parts of the negative that were missing or unusable, whatever, right? 6 months. Hold on, where is it mm, range. Or was that for Aparajitu? I think that was for Aparajitu. I'm sorry, I believe it was Aparajitu where none of it was usable, Brad.
No, I
So
think
they
I think at the end of this film it said that none of this could be used.
Yeah, let me take a real quick look here. Sorry guys, but I believe it does say at the end, right, that it says that like none of it was usable. So they had to what's it called take like supplemental stuff. They had to take like what's it called public prints, and they basically had to recreate the film through all these other prints and clean those up instead. So I can understand where that what's it called where that was a difficulty, but I think it still looks fantastic, Brad.
By the way, did you happen to notice the Ikiru esque uh, shot
Where?
when he was when um his wife had left and he was walking on like a hill to get down to the train tracks, not to kill himself, not that scene, but this was
Yeah,
before. It had like the Ikiru like looking up with the people. You remember the bridge scene with Ikiru? It looked like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, so the original negatives of the three films in the Apu trilogy were burned in a fire. Only two reels of Apur Sansar survived the fire, and they were too badly damaged to be used for this new restoration, which is based on fine grained masters and duplicate negatives reserved by Janus Films, the Academy Film Archive, and the Harvard Film Archive, and the British Film Institute. The film was reconstructed and digitally restored in 4K resolution, and the sound restored from multiple optical soundtrack prints and magnetic safety masters by the Criterion Collection. So yeah, like none of the original print was usable.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they were able to recreate it with all these other prints and stuff. So and they still were able. They got a great look out of it. So
I mean, they saved three films,
yeah,
three very amazingly done,
yeah.
amazingly created, amazingly thought out, and filmed films.
I thought the score was beautiful as well. I think this is the one that I like that is shot. I think this one shot the best out of all the three though. I'd
Yeah,
say that this one's the one that's the best. The best. And
I think so. In the first movie, we get basically well, kind of like a documentary, to
yeah,
be honest. The second one, I think he tries like to get more acting in there, in a way thrown in there. I don't. To me, he doesn't quite hit in this third one though. It's like everyone's on the same page when it comes to the acting,
yeah,
and maybe it was just the actress in this and
yeah.
just because you they had great chemistry.
They did. They had some really good chemistry. I like these two actors. I think they're great too. I can't wait to see. I think she is in Chirlota, the next film we're gonna do. From Ray, but um, Brad, do you want to see what? Do you want to see um what Roger Ebert said about this one, about this the trilogy itself? Now that we finished it,
Yeah, do you want me to look it up or are you looking up?
you look it up. I'm trying to
Okay.
see. Yeah, here.
You're not listening to the typing in the back.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if she's in this next one that we're doing. Yep, yeah, Sumitra Chatterjee, and not the other dude, but he, what's it called? But the girl is in the next one that we're doing.
Um, well, the first paragraph's pretty good.
All right,
So he gave, and we've said this, he gave 4 stars to the whole
a perfect
trilogy.
score. That's a perfect score from. That's his perfect score. It's four
Yeah,
out of four.
considering the guy gave what 1 star to Taste of Cherry.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, I mean he's right on this. So, the great, sad, gentle sweep of the Pooh trilogy remains in the mind of the moviegoer as a promise of what film can be. Standing above fashion, it creates a world so convincing that it becomes, for a time, another life we might have lived. The three films, which were made in India by Ray between 1950 and 1959, swept the top prizes at Cannes, Venice, and London, and created a new cinema for India, whose prolific film industry had traditionally stayed within the narrow confines of swashbuckling musical romances. Never before had one man had such a decisive impact on the films of his culture.
Yeah. And it's just perfectly said, man. I mean, this guy is he like the way that he just puts all of his culture in this, but also just the very familiarity to it. Like it's shot in a way where it does feel like you're literally just a spectator,
Yeah,
and you're watching it, like as if like it's just happening in your backyard. And I thought that this trilogy was fucking masterful. I thought it was an incredible trilogy. And I'm gonna go ahead and give my final verdict of Apur Sansar. I'm gonna go in, what's it called, 9.25, a little bit high, a little bit higher than Oh yeah, I'm sorry, no, Patar Panchali is the 9, and I'd say this one's a 9 too. I prefer Patar Panchali, but I think that this is really good, and I think this is a really good movie. Brad, what's your final verdict?
I'm going to give this one a straight up 10 out of 10.
Wow. All right, Brad. The first perfect score for Ray, man. He gives it a 10 out of 10. Um, great, lovely film, man. It's
It's
so good,
beautiful.
dude. It's so
The,
good.
the whole, the whole, all three films. And for being this man's, like
This
that
was his
first one being
fourth.
his first film. No, this is his fourth.
This is
This is
his
a fourth
fourth.
film. The man's like a savant. The man's a genius in some form or fact. This doesn't happen.
Like,
I want to go back now and watch Kurosawa's like first few films, the
yeah,
propaganda films, because I know they're not going to be. But
yeah,
if you have those restrictions on you, but for this man just to come out and be like, "Look at my first four films, they're amazing," and
yeah.
it's like, how?
And now that I'm also looking at it, the fact that these are just two novels, Brad,
Yeah.
like, he half, well, not half, like 75% of the first book is Patar Panchali. And then that last, what's it called, 25% of the book, and then half of Aparajitu
Well,
is
and
Parajit.
Parachito, like that doesn't even. There was nothing written. He's like, act,
Yeah, yeah.
do something.
He took his creative liberties with that.
Yeah,
And then here he like, okay, and I'm just gonna what's it called, do the rest of the book in this one.
yeah.
But I think it's fantastic, man. Sanjay Ray is an incredible director, and
The
I
man, the
just
man's
really,
the man's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. What an incredible director. He's incredible in in these films. I can't wait to see Charlotta next week, and then we ended with our mini pod of the hero, featuring the same what's it called, the guy who was in this film, the same actor. But yeah, man, I just fantastic. I can't wait to see it, you guys. And yeah, that concludes our review of Apur Sansar and our review of reviews of the Apu Trilogy. Thank you all so much for joining us. As always, you can find us at thenerdcore.com. the Nerdcore on Instagram, the Nerdcore underscore on Twitter, patreon.com/the Nerdcore at the $1 tier. You get this episode and other episodes of the Nerdcore podcast live and early before anybody else gets to watch it in the public. And of course, our Discord link is in the description below, so you can go ahead and talk to us on there. As always, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do us the favor of subscribing to this channel. That would really help out a lot. Click the notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that drops on the channel. And leave a like on the video. All of that really helps us out a lot. And of course, we would really appreciate if you're on listen to this on your favorite podcast app of choice. Please leave a 5-star review and follow us on that app. It would help us out a lot too. Of course, we thank you all so much for joining us for these 3 reviews. They've been great. I love this month, man. I really do. I think this is one of my favorite months that we do because we get to watch these great directors and we get to learn about movies that we just wouldn't have gone to eventually.
I don't
Like
think we've had a bad month with these.
no, we
Of
haven't.
hey, you know anything about the director?
Yeah.
Nah, let's watch him.
Even Ozu, that was very different. We were just like, well, it's still really good stuff
Still,
here.
still good. I mean,
Yeah,
not quite my cup of tea in all respects, but still good.
yeah. But yeah, man, we got one more left for the public and one left for the Patreon. Of course, guys, like I said, next week is our last week doing this until we come back for the new year when we're gonna do our top 10 of 2023. But in the meantime, just stay tuned for what we're doing. I might be able to film some extra reviews with Luis, so you'll have some of that fluffer in there if you miss us too much and it's quite lonely during the holidays. So you want some nerdcore during the holidays, then I will try to do that for y'all. But
Also, check Luis's.
oh yeah, check Luis's YouTube channel. Lots of fun.
We've been making content with Luis, if
At
you
least
can call
Apu
it that.
fun. His fees. I knew that you were gonna fucking bring that up,
Jesus
motherfucker.
Christ.
Yeah. Wrong one. Yeah.
Well, Matt Groening is a fan of the trilogy.
Oh,
That was a trivia, apparently.
really?
Yeah,
That's why he called himself Apu?
I don't know if that's why he used Apu, but
Yeah.
it says Matt Groening is a fan of the Apu trilogy.
Damn. Someone's gotta ask Macaroni. Yeah. Yeah. Um. So with that said, Brad, let's go ahead and get him out of here.
All right, Rome. Thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to Stacy for joining us in chat today. Thank you to our listeners out there, our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, check on your fever. Like, go to the doctor. Just go
Take
to
a
the
fucking
doctor.
Tylenol, please.
Yeah, take Tylenol. Check the fever. After watching the, I'm
Well, she died during childbirth. Let's be real.
yeah, I know, but like everybody else died of damn fever. I'm a little traumatized by that. So if you're sick, go get it checked out. Young Yoda out.